It's the Jack and Nick Horror Show.
Nick,
Hi, Jack.
horror show. I had a
Yeah,
I had a real life horror show this past week.
right. It's gross. Tell them about it.
I nearly died. You almost had the Nick horror show.
I know. I actually thought about it when you told me about it because I was like, what would I do? I'd have to come on here all alone and say, we lost Jack
It was
to the
devastating.
bees.
Devastating blow. Yes, I am
Tell the people.
allergic to bees, and I live on a property of 7 acres because I'm like the Great Gatsby. No, I was on my tractor and mowing the lawn, and then I felt a slight pain in my back. I'm like, maybe something just crawled in there. I'd get it out. And then I turned my head and I see bees in my face. Turn to my left, I see bees in my face, and I got off the tractor and took off because I hit ground nests of bees. Well, yellow jackets, whatever you want to call them. I call them bees. Yeah, they kept stinging me. They got me 17 times. And I had to run about 100 and some odd yards up my driveway, uphill, and fell on my knees and arms and cut them open. Whilst
And then the bees got inside.
yeah, they were still stinging me and made my legs paralyzed. I couldn't walk. Like I was running, and then it was like my top body was moving, but my legs were like just rubber. So then I had to crawl to my house. And everybody's like, where's the EpiPen? I'm like, I'm on a fucking tractor. Mowing the lawn when it's like 70, or no, it was about 80 something out that day, but it was like going down to 70 something. It was like right before dark. So I ran inside, grabbed Benadryl, took it, and hightailed out because if I call an ambulance, I'd be dead. So I hightailed out to the nearest urgent care and got shots, steroids, and yeah, I was sitting in a recliner for a week.
So that sucks. You almost died like Macaulay Culkin and My Girl.
Macaulay Culkin and My Girl. I almost said,
It's a shitty way to die.
yeah, I was gonna say he's got to put his glasses on. Put on
He
his
needs
glasses.
his glasses.
He can't see without his glasses.
He can't see.
But I'm alive, so I didn't have a newfound respect for life or anything. Don't worry, I'm not a changed man. I'm the same asshole that you had before.
Right? If anything, you're like, oh, this is even worse than I thought before.
I was like, well, it's happened before. My girlfriend and I almost died when we were driving in Virginia, almost T-boned on the highway at like full blast, and we're just like, okay, well, we're gonna die. And we didn't, so that shit keeps happening to me. I'm like Devon Sawa in Final Destination.
Jack, the next time death comes for you, just go. Like,
Yeah.
what are you fighting for? This world's terrible.
This is probably what happens after death. I'm still doing this stupid show with you.
Exactly. So here we are doing our stupid show.
We are here doing our stupid.
It's
the Jack and the
actually-
stupid horror show.
Right. Even though Jack said it was 80 degrees, it's actually October.
It is.
And it's 80 degrees around us. Actually, today was like 50, which made everybody sick, dude. Everybody's sick because it's going from
Everybody's
80
getting sick.
to 50. And then, like, Halloween will come, and Halloween does one of two things by me in New Jersey here.
Snows?
It either is, like, snow or, like, oh, man, it's, like, summer again. We got to take our coats off, get the shorts on, you know?
Oh yeah.
It's got to be one of the you can't have a nice Halloween very often. Most
yeah.
times it sucks. But
Movie of the week.
that's just weather-wise. The other stuff, yes, the movie we're going to talk about today is Child's Play.
Yes.
It might not be the Child's Play you were thinking of. It might be the one you are thinking of.
For whatever reason, what you were just talking about made me think of Child's Play. I don't know why.
Well, it's
It's because it's like after Christmas and it's cold and whatever. We'll get to that.
yeah. Child's Play 2019. The the reboot that followed the previous this one's more of a remake in a way.
Yeah.
Or reimagining. Let's go with reimagining because it's really very different than everything else in the series, but also very much the same. And we're going to talk about that movie, and then we're going to talk about some of our social media pet peeves from the horror community and within the horror community. I have no idea if you guys like to hear us bitch about stuff or put stuff up on a pedestal, but today we're going to bitch about stuff. So if you'd like to hear we're not going to bitch about the movie, we're going to talk about watching the movie and the experience and fun of it. And then after that, we're going to have a bitch fest. So, at least listen to the review.
Be a bitch fest. People might cheer and agree with us.
Oh, right.
Or they may completely disagree with us and say, "Fuck the fuck do you know, Twitter? Fuck you, motherfucker!" I'm tapping like I'm on my phone, but I'm not.
That's right. Imaginary phone. I understood.
Imaginary phone. Yeah. Did
but
you ever think, in 1994, 95, did you ever think that we'd be talking about people getting angry while moving our thumbs?
No, but unless you were talking about Nintendo,
right? It's so weird how I have. You know how parents used to get mad at their kids for playing Game Boy.
Dude, I know what you're about to say, and I literally.
And now they all. Yeah, because we do share a brain a lot, but everybody now is doing the same thing that kids did in the 90s.
Yeah, not only that, how much were you yelled at to not play video games so much you're never going to make a job out of it? And now, literally, thousands of people make a job out of it while their parents still yell at them and then play on their phones all day.
Yeah.
It's an amazing world. This is why, Jack, next time the bees come for you, just lay down. Let them take you. They'll take you back to the hive.
I'm waiting for a Wicker Man Nicolas Cage thing.
Not the bees. But next time say, it's okay, the bees.
They almost got me last year in my shed. I opened a shed and they attacked me. Fuckers.
Too many bees. All right, let's talk about the movie.
Let's talk about the bee movie. A mother gives her 13-year-old son a toy doll for his birthday. A 13-year-old doesn't want a toy doll, but okay. And they make point. Unaware of its more sinister nature, it kills people who disobey Andy. Child's Play 2019, rated R, 1 hour and 30 minutes, starring Aubrey Plaza, Tim Matheson, Gabriel Bateman, and Mark Hamill as the voice of Chucky. Directed by Lars Klevberg, who directed Polaroid, which finally is apparently out somewhere. That was part of that whole Weinstein hold-up. Mm-hmm. So, Nick, you know the Child's Play movies. This is a whole new ballgame.
Oh, yeah.
What's your thoughts?
we both have seen all of the Child's Play movies, right? There's none you're missing,
no.
I assume.
Well, I haven't seen Cult of Chucky. I haven't watched that one yet, only because I just got to be in the mood for it.
Yeah, I understand. I literally have seen all of them then. So just to take the people through it, you have the Child's Play movies. They go like this. The first three, if you saw any of the first ones, were pretty much straightforward late 80s, early 90s slasher about a doll that comes to life because of a voodoo curse where a serial killer gets his soul stuck in the body and goes around killing people. That's the first three movies. The next two movies, Bride of Chucky and Seed of Chucky, are like horror comedies, straight up goofy, insane, sort of like irreverent, sarcastic late 90s, early 2000s movies. And I really like Bride of Chucky and I really hate Seed of Chucky. I think you're okay with both of them, right?
Yeah, I like both.
Right. And I mean, they are like a different genre. and still good and still fit the mythos that was created beforehand.
Yeah.
Then after that, you skip ahead like 13 years to like a couple of years ago, they came out with the reboot reimagining, which was
Curse of Chucky.
Curse of Chucky. Right. And it was basically like a sequel / reboot. It still follows the mythos of the originals, but is now back firmly in the horror genre with more of a modern take on everything, but still follows the same series. And then Cult of Chucky was the sequel to Curse of Chucky that was not as good and kind of a little weird, but still a horror movie within that same mythos. Now, just like what they did with Halloween last year, this movie kind of ignores everything that ever really happened before, except Halloween ignored all the sequels, but still was a sequel to the original. This one even throws out the original. It's not – I wouldn't call it a remake because they don't tell the same story as the original at all. Except for in some parts they use motifs from the original and ideas and elements, but it's really a modern reimagining of Chucky. Chucky is no longer part of a voodoo curse. He's a badly programmed smart doll, right?
Mm-hmm.
That communicates with cell phones and devices around the house. And overall, I thought that it was a fun, smart movie, and not smart, clever. I'll say a clever movie, not smart. It was just really fun. You know, and I think like so many times, and how many times do we watch a horror movie and we complain about it? Maybe not on the show, but like at least privately to each other, like, oh God, this movie was exhaustingly boring, you know, or all the characters in this are so terrible and stuff like that. This movie was quite fun, and I really enjoyed it. It was in theaters earlier this year. I didn't catch it then. I watched it on demand the other day, and I mean, it's the perfect type of movie, especially this time of year with Halloween coming up. Hopefully this episode comes out before Halloween. But I think that this is a good movie to watch around Halloween. It felt so much like just movies that you used to rent and go, yeah, that was a good Halloween movie, you know? I really was happy to watch it. And I was happy to spend the hour and a half I spent on this movie. So many movies, I watched like 40 minutes and I'm like, okay, I'm fast forwarding to the end, you know? Over and over again that happens to me. But this movie was good, not original. It had original ideas smushed in. Also, and I mean, we could talk about this a little bit more, but the director took influence from E.T., quite obviously, and he's talked about it in interviews and stuff. And this movie is almost like the original Child's Play modernized, but with the heart of E.T. in it, which sounds crazy. But I had a lot of fun. And also, I think Chucky was also portrayed completely differently. Brad Dourif was not voicing him in this one. It was Mark Hamill. And Mark Hamill did a different type of voice than you probably are expecting. You're probably expecting him to be like doing the Joker voice again for the 100th time, and he does not. He uses like vocalization similar to some of the stuff he did in Metalocalypse. So if you ever watch that. Anyway, thank you, everyone. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. And Jack, why don't you go?
I liked it. What's not to like?
Right.
Beef, good. Jam, good. No, it's a fun, stupid movie. The original I know was supposed to be the Andy was the killer, and he was blaming it on the doll. And then they said, no, let's get rid of that and let's throw a bunch of voodoo shit in there. As you know, I like the original Child's Play. I don't love the original Child's Play.
Right, I don't either.
I think Child's Play 2 is a much better film. 3, not so much, but then when Bride and Seed come along, I'm like, okay, it's more fun. This is stupid.
Right.
Because it is stupid.
It is a stupid idea, no matter whether it's this one or the old ones. It's a killer doll. But it's the dumbest shit.
This one has more of the part 2 feel than the part 1 feel. Where it's like, here's Chucky, and he's going to kill a bunch of people. Except this one is not menacing.
Right. It doesn't take itself seriously. Yeah. I'm sorry to interrupt, but that's what it really is.
Yeah, I feel bad for Chucky. This again. I always feel bad for the killers. Because you know, it's not his fault. He's just
I knew you were going to say all that too.
yeah, it's not his fault. He was just like a doll, and it starts out. This is not a spoiler. How this happens? It's not like an evil corporation. It's well, it is kind of an evil corporation, but like a factory worker from overseas is getting yelled at by his superior about being a lazy piece of shit and that he's going to be fired after he gets done that one doll. So he can just delete all the programming and make the doll a psychopath, and then puts the chip in and then jumps out of a fucking window. And there's no explanation. Did you get an explanation for the rest of the movie?
No, I mean that's literally what the premise is.
It's so ridiculous.
The factory.
It's not. I'm not laughing at the. It's like that's the one fault I had with the movie is I was like, well, because I was watching with my girlfriend. I said, was that the worker that jumped out the window? And she goes, I guess so. I'm like, it'll probably come up later. It doesn't.
Oh, no, it doesn't. But maybe it's because you don't realize what the reference is to is a couple of years ago, there was this company called Foxconn in China where it's a place where they make all sorts of electronic equipment like Apple, all sorts of Apple products and iPhones and shit. They made PlayStations and Xboxes there and stuff. And they had a problem, which was their workers kept killing themselves because it was so dire to be there that they were almost kept there like prisoners, making these things. Like they literally like lived at the place in dorms, and they were just jumping out the windows. And they came up with all these like anti-suicide things, which were like they added an Xbox 360 play area where you could play the games you were making, and they all fucking hated it and felt it, resented it and stuff. So the only good thing about the people, wow, that's a terrible phrasing. The only good to come out of this horrible situation is that like apparently things got a little bit better out there. But that's what this was referencing. That's why that happens in the first scene. So it's good you brought it up because I actually totally forgot to bring that up.
But that would be that would be a good movie. Not trying to sound mean, but that's a good premise, like for a horror movie, where like you could just have a bunch of people go to this job and then they get stuck in there and they have to find their way out. It's a good premise. Go ahead and steal it. I ain't writing it. Anyway, the cast of this I enjoyed. I like Aubrey Plaza a lot. I like the fact that they comment about how young and hot she is, which is definite. I mean, the cool thing is that there are people that deserve to die in this. But then Chucky starts to kill people that don't deserve to die. And that's when it gets a little hairy. The gore in it is great.
Oh, yeah.
For a mainstream movie, it's really great. Mm-hmm. I mean, there are some moments, like with the kids, that I'm just like, can he just kill Andy? And like, there's just I always have a problem. Like I understand that, like with horror, you kind of regress back to your childhood because most of us watched horror movies when we were kids, so we identify with the kids being in an R-rated movie. However, they're kids in an R-rated movie, and I want to see a R-rated horror movie about adults. It's just my thing, but I still enjoy it. I can still watch movies with kids that are the main characters, but it's like I don't give a fuck about who hates who at school and shit when they're like middle schoolers, But yeah, 13-year-old boys, why would he want that doll, Aubrey Plaza?
Right. Well, I mean, he kind of didn't, but I guess it's also because it's a piece of tech or whatever.
Right.
But yeah, it was kind of silly in that regard. I guess he could have been younger because like even kids who are younger are still into like tech and like stupid robots and stuff. I'm literally pointing at my son's robot that is like over there. looking at
Yeah,
me.
it's still cool,
It's
though.
powered down. Jesus, it's going to kill me in the night now that I settle this. Sorry, my bro.
But as far as getting mad about a remake, the way people did when this came out, or not everybody, but people were like, Don Mancini's really mad, and you got to support Don Mancini and the Child's Play. He's making a series, and Don Mancini. Okay, I understand somebody being mad, and there's a rights thing that a lot of people don't get. They think that like movies just get made like this. And, hey, here's an idea. Make this movie. Jason Blum on Twitter. Oh, okay, sure. I'll just go work on that right now. Thank you so much for that brilliant idea. That's
Right,
what people
like-
think happens, and it doesn't work that way.
Dude, this is off topic, but it reminds me. The other day I saw online, maybe a couple of weeks ago, that was like, wow, the rights to Freddy, the Freddy movies have now passed back to Wes Craven's estate. And people were celebrating it. And I was like, yeah, but that means that whatever movies they were working on that we didn't know about are not getting made now. Like the rights going back to Wes Craven's estate, that's nice. Wes Craven's estate is not a production company.
Right.
They're not Jason Blum, for instance.
Did you guys see what happened to Prince's estate? His songs are in commercials now, which he never wanted.
Right. Like it doesn't necessarily it doesn't mean. Like nobody in Wes Craven's estate is making movies, to my knowledge, at all. It's not like he had like a son or a daughter.
His son
or
is.
does he?
Yeah.
Okay. Does he make good movies?
Yeah. I mean, he wrote Hills Have Eyes too with him. So
Okay.
his son.
So
I
he
hope
did
that his
one
son.
thing 12 years ago. That's what you're saying?
Yes, that's all.
Okay. Good argument.
That's all he did. Hey, I'm just saying that he fucking wrote the movie with his dad.
Okay.
So
So is he working on the next one? See, that would be
how about I find out? Hang on, I'll look this shit up.
Who
Hang
cares?
on.
So anyway,
Jonathan Craven. He actually produces movies too.
Okay.
Not too many, but Random Acts of Violence. He produced that as well. He co-produced a remake of Last House on the Left.
I remember that. Yeah.
Mind Ripper. He co-produced as well. He has. Do you want me to keep going?
No, we don't need it.
Oh, okay. He did a short. Okay, all right.
So anyway, you get what I'm saying, though. It's like you're absolutely right that people don't understand that a movie company actually has to make the movie. I know, like, part of the reason that what's his name? You just said it, Mancini is mad was because wasn't he working on developing Child's Play into a TV show?
Yes, that's what he was, and he still can. He's still allowed to. That's how the rights are for this property. That's why this here is totally different, and that's what they were going for. And even I listened to the director's commentary, and he said, he likes the original Child's Play, he likes the series, and he understands the backlash, but he didn't want to do it initially, but then I guess they either paid him to or persuaded him to contractually. I don't know, but he was like, okay, I'm gonna do this. Same shit happened to Rob Zombie with Halloween. He didn't want to remake Halloween. He even said he didn't want to remake Halloween, but then he ended up remaking Halloween. So
right.
It's,
this is like, why would people, and I mean, maybe there are people who listen who can explain this to us, but why would anybody take the Child's Play movies seriously? Like, I could see why, and I think it's stupid that people got up in arms over Halloween remakes. I've said that a million times before.
They get up in arms over everything.
Yeah, but I mean, Halloween is like, okay, that's a milestone within the industry, right? Halloween. Child's Play is not. And the last couple of Child's Play movies, and this is also it, let's be honest here, the people complaining are not supporting the actual movies that come out because they didn't see the last couple. Because if they saw the last couple, they'd be like, it's okay if somebody else takes the reins now, Like, they were good, not like blow away great, certainly not box office successes.
Right.
And I mean, you might as well let somebody else take a try at it. Like, I'm so over people complaining about remakes. It's been 20 years that we've been seeing remakes, and some of them have been great, and a lot of them have been just fine. And this one was pretty fun, and I would say probably better than the first. Well, I would say better than more than half of the Child's Play movies, maybe one of the top 3 in the whole series. And there's like what, 7 or 8 movies now.
Yeah.
See, like what? I don't know. Look, I could rant about that all day, but that's not really the point. What do you think of like Chucky's redesign? Because I know that that's something that really bothered people. Do you have a problem with the way he looks in this at all?
It's weird, but I don't care. It's a robotic. It's a robotic doll. I don't give a fuck. I'm not like, if it looked exactly like Chucky, they would complain. If it looked nothing like Chucky, they'd complain. If
Right.
it's a weird looking, everybody complains about every fucking thing, and I don't care. I don't care what people say.
Dude, this is
because-
us becoming old men who have nothing left, no cards left to play in the game.
Yeah, it's just
We're like, look, I don't care. It's fine.
it's just
do
a
it.
fucking movie. It's just
Right.
a movie, and it's a movie that, like, okay, like, there's a reason there's a lot of bad shit going on in the country. It's because you take this shit way too seriously. It's a
Yeah.
fucking Child's Play movie. That's it. It's a Child's Play movie. You don't have to see it. You don't have to buy it. You don't have to rent it. You don't have to watch it if it's on Netflix or whatever. Just watch the original movie over and over again like you usually do. And don't accept or embrace anything new. And then just regress back to your childhood, because everything's about your childhood. It's not about new kids and their childhood, not the new
Right.
kids on the block. It's not about those kids, because
And
they
that's
don't
what's
matter.
really. See, that is what is really important, and like a lot of horror fans overlook when they're complaining about these, for real. Like, even though you're saying it as a joke, it's like totally true. This is going to be some kid's first Child's Play,
Yeah.
and they're going to be like, that movie was fun, and they're going to feel the same way you did when you saw the first Child's Play in like 1987, 88, when that first one came out. You're going to be like, that was me, you know? That was me all over again, seeing Chucky. Because you know what? This movie could scare kids, you know?
Definitely.
But it's still fun enough that if you're a teenager, you can watch it. If you're in your 20s or 30s or 40s, you can watch it and go, you know what? This is kind of dumb, kind of fun. I can have popcorn, sit around and watch this on a Friday night. It's fun.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
That's exactly what it is. It's just mindless, stupid, fun movie. Has comedy in it. It has gore in it.
Mm-hmm.
It has Aubrey Plaza in it. I can watch her, like, if she would just wash windows, I'd watch it. It's
the whole cast in this was pretty good. It's
Yeah.
not like if this movie could have been made with like a really flat delivery on everything, but it was a bunch of people who actually like seemed to have fun making the movie, and it looked like it just was good. It's just a good movie to spend time with,
sure.
and
it's fun.
yeah.
That's it.
But it's gory, and you know what? It keeps its references in the background. It's not beating you over the head with stuff like, other movies do. And there's a ton of references to E.T. in this movie, but not at all in a way that like is obtrusive to the movie, and no references that are like fourth wall breaking, like, oh, that's what happened last time. You know what I mean? Nothing like that. That's like referencing things that you had to have seen the originals for. Nothing that you had to have seen E.T. for. But if you want it, it's there, and it's just good. I don't love this movie. I'm not saying like, oh my God, best movie of the year. But I'm saying it was good. Check it out.
And this
Maybe.
just one thing just in, I forgot to say this. Remember the Maniac Cop reboot that Nicholas Winding Refn was doing? He was producing it.
What happened?
Well, it's going to be on HBO as a series. That's the
A
latest.
series?
A Maniac Cop series on HBO.
Okay.
You never know.
Yeah. Never know.
Never know. So stick around for that. It'll probably already be a series by the time this episode releases.
Maybe you'll see a teaser.
Maybe one of us will be fucking stuck on a roller coaster for whatever fucking reason. Who knows?
Please don't you put that on me.
Let's bitch some more, Nick.
No.
Yes, we have to bitch some more. No, we do have to bitch about. No, go see or check out Child's Play. If you're interested, check it out. If you're not interested, fuck off. Watch Child's Play 3 again. All right, so let's.
Well, before we go on, let me just mention.
No, we're going on.
No, because what if people drop off before we talk about this next thing?
Oh, okay.
I just want to say, by the end of the year, I think we're going to have 3 to 4 more episodes. We actually have a plan. So hear me listen. Listen to everybody.
God, here it comes.
Okay, here's the stuff that'll never happen now that I'm about to say. Here's what I think we're going to do next. The next couple of movies, in no particular order, we'd like to review and talk about, maybe at length, are going to be Midsommar and 3 from Hell, which I've already seen. Both of those. Jack has to catch up, and when he catches up, we'll do it. And I got to catch up with movies he's seen, which is another story. Or, oh man, I just thought of another movie. All right, maybe erase all those movies. So anyway, we're also going to have, and I have to mention this all the time because I am advertising for what will be the greatest episodes we ever do. We're going to do, sometime December, January area. We're going to do top 5, bottom 1 of the year. Which horror movies were the best in 2019? And then my favorite episode of all time. Here it comes, the best of the decade. We're going to do top 10, bottom 5 for each of us. And at some point, we'll ask you to tell us what your favorites were, too. Not yet. Don't start sending them to us. It's a little early, but we're going to do these in the future. Jack has promised me since 2011 we'd do it, and we're finally here at the end of the decade, so it's coming. But I totally just thought of another movie, and we got to talk about that one, too.
What's that?
No, not now. I'll tell you later. Because we're not going to do it, so I don't want to set hopes too high.
Well, let's talk about it now.
All right. Well,
okay, here we go. We're going into our discussion of our social media shenanigans. Horror social media. This is a horror show after all, I think.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was.
We'll see what it turns into. Welcome to Jack and Nick's Thanksgiving podcast.
Thanksgiving. Pilgrims.
Nick, what kind of stuffing are you using this year? Okay.
I love stuffing. I don't know what's going to happen Thanksgiving right now. It's all up in the air. That sucks. Well, anyway.
All right. Let's go. I'm going to start this conversation by saying the following. Picture, if you will, a picture of a cat sitting in front of Demon from Friday the 13th Part 5, Jason Lives. It's on. He's sitting in front of the TV, and it's a still shot. And a tweet by yours truly that says, "My cat Scar." I said my cat's name wrong. My cat Stargrove thought he could save Demon from Jason. He failed. That's it. Bunch of hashtags. Then, a guy who calls himself Horror Nerds, I'm not going to call him out by full name, writes, "Fuck it, I'll be that guy. You mean save him from Roy. I'm sorry, I hate myself already." That's what he said. Horror Nerd guy, you should hate yourself already. Because, who gives a fuck? That's the point. Who cares so much? Okay. The reason I this ain't me being butthurt. Don't get me wrong here. Okay?
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. Listen up. Who fucking cares? Now, imagine, picture this if you will, my cat. in front of Demon on my TV. My cat, Stargrove, thought he could save Demon from Roy. Roy!
These are minor characters. In
Roy!
case you have no idea what he's talking about.
Right.
The minorest of characters.
Right. People would be like, what? But, oh, he means Roy, the ambulance driver, who's in it for a second. Oh, because it's not the real Jace. Oh, I get it. I don't have time for that shit. On social media, I appeal to the masses. I'm not Mr. fucking horror nerd guy that goes, by the way, this is Roy. Okay? Mm-hmm. So, the reason I'm mentioning this is there's more. Oh, there's more. Because there's a reason I'm bringing all this up, and then we're going to get into the discussion. The point of me bringing this up, in the same day, Scream Factory announces this week's new Scream Factory releases are Straight On Till Morning and Fright, out today on Blu-ray. I did pick up Fright, and I actually tweeted. I said I tweeted or got Fright, watched it already and loved it. Didn't know about Straight On Till Morning, but I'm on it, and I know that is not Owen Wilson on the cover. And the guy on the cover, who's in the movie, looks just like Owen Wilson in the picture, if you see the picture. I believe I sent it over to you that day as well.
Yeah.
Tony at the movie says it's Shane Bryant, who's also in Hammer's Demons of the Mind and Frankenstein and The Monster from Hell. See, people like this, you remember The Devil's Rejects? Nick? You remember The Devil's Rejects?
Yeah.
The guy about
That's a movie
Groucho?
I am familiar with, yeah.
That's what these people remind me of. They remind me of the guy. And I just say, fuck Groucho. Because, okay, I've seen this before, down on my Twitter. Oh my God, Michele Soave's Stage Fright is coming. Okay. Guys, we get it. We get it. We get it. We get it. You know everything about horror movies. You know everything about... This is why other countries are kicking our fucking asses. Just so you know that, okay? This is why we fucking suck. This is why Nick and I are doing a horror show that we're just like, okay, we got a fucking show. We used to give a fuck, but guess what? We realized one day, we woke up and said, who gives a fuck?
Yeah, we used to be these dickheads. Like, I am not even joking. Like, we have the self-awareness to look back and go, you know what? I think
not all the time, though.
Have to grow up. No, and I don't even think that we were ever as bad as this. Oh, you don't know. I have never been the guy who's like, oh, you don't know minor character from Friday X or whatever, you know?
It doesn't matter. It's not a big fucking deal. It's not like I'm some poser that don't know fucking Friday the 13th series. Come on. Stop with the shit. Stop trying to fucking prove how fucking your horror cred to the fucking dumbass masses. Nobody cared. Nobody cared at all about that dude's tweet, by the way. Which is, who gives a fuck? Because it's on my page. I'm not,
He probably listens to this show and is big mad right now. Big mad.
No, but it's like, understand. I've said some stupid shit on Twitter too, and I'm a fucking asshole too. We're all fucking assholes. But the point is that there's a time and a place for that. And it appears that if I post something, you've been a witness to this, not just this time here. No matter what I fucking post on Facebook or whatever, people go, I can't believe you fucking posted that. I posted a fucking very funny video about with Key and Peele, where they did, it was Peele hugging everybody and shaking hands with people he didn't care about. That whole entire sketch, but it was done with Argento horror movies.
Mm-hmm.
I put it on Facebook. What happens? One of my fucking older friends, that's a righty, goes, how dare you? He's almost like Greta, going, "How dare you!" Like he is mad. He's like,
You're taking my man childhood.
"Yeah, how dare you! This guy is making fun of white people," and I'm like, "Oh my fucking! I'll just take it the fuck down. I'll just take it down because God fucking forbid should I put anything about." Anything outside of politics when it refers to horror movies that you have no idea what this is about. It just blew up. I'm like, okay, I'm fucking done. But the reason I'm mentioning this, apologies to those who I talked about on Twitter. If you're angry, please tweet at me. I'll give you some love. Don't worry.
Just block and move on. It's not worth it.
But here's the deal. We get it. We understand that you do nothing but watch horror movies all the time. I do myself. I do quite a lot of that. But you don't have to prove everybody wrong at all the time. Not that I can't take the heat. Hey, we all fuck up. But does it have to be done? Now, social media groups on Facebook especially. Nick, you're privy to this. I want you to jump in on here.
Oh, sure.
Okay. So, a while ago, there was the last drive-in, right? The marathon. And then all of a sudden, a Facebook group started. And everybody's like, jerk, 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 jerk. I love you. Jerk, 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 jerk. Nga, 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 nga. Right? We're all fucking great. We're all happy. We're all having a great time. Beautiful. I'm so happy I finally found a fucking Facebook page that I'm happy about. Why? Because all Facebook pages turn into a shitstorm. Guess what happened to that page?
Gone.
No, it's still there. It's a fucking giant shitstorm. Oh. It's a shitstorm. Every single day it is, oh my god, I hate this movie so much. It's called Jaws. Oh my god, this movie sucks. It's overrated. It's called The Shining. Oh my god. It's like, dude, it's just Troll City.
Dude, some of that reminds me of my favorite thing about stuff that we see on social media, which, by the way, we didn't preface this conversation with an explanation, but we're just kind of like venting a little about social media horror stuff that you sometimes see. I don't even remember what I was just about to say. Yes, I do. Okay, so one of the things that you see so often that drives me nuts is today's the 34th anniversary of movie XYZ that came out that, 4 people have seen. And like everybody's like, "Oh man, that movie's so great." And it's like, dude, okay. Like it's what does it have to do with anything that it, and I mean, if it's like a milestone anniversary, like 25, 50th, or can you believe this movie came out 10 years ago? Wow, I remember everybody talking about it. That's one thing. Mm-hmm. But if you're just like, it's the 34th anniversary of Halloween 5, like, what? Like, and I just said Halloween 5 to show that it's like the middle movie in the series, the 34th anniversary. What does it all mean? Like, I don't understand anymore. I am no longer a part of this world anymore. Like, and not even just that. Like, think about like the random. Like, you can look online right now. Everybody try it at your phone.
I'm gonna do
just
it.
Look up. Came out today, and see what. Like, maybe there'll be something that's like came out today, and like it'll be like 20 years ago, 21 years ago.
Normally released on this day. Let's see. Let's find out while we're recording this, Nick. What was released
on this day? Okay. I'm typing it into Twitter. I'm not even kidding.
I am too. It is Team Fortress 2 for PC was released on this day in North America 12 years ago, 2007. Great. Guess what? 2,318 likes, 842 retweets, and 54 comments.
Okay.
Like, this is what happened when I say it. And trust me, guys, if you, girls too, if you do this, this is all in good fun. Don't get offended. If you get offended, well, sorry. But this is what I picture. Somebody sitting at their phone watching Twitter they keep on refreshing it, and then it's like, this was released. Like, retweet, comment. Oh my god, I love this movie. Oh, this is one of my favorite movies of all time. Blah 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 blah. Oh, you love it too? Oh, me too. We're best friends. Blah 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 blah.
I'm just gonna read one aloud for the class, okay? On this day in music history, October 10th, 1989, The Biz Never Sleeps, the second album by Biz Markie, is released. Like, random. Chill out.
That is a good album.
I knew you'd say that. I read it aloud because I knew you couldn't contain yourself from saying that.
I do love Biz Markie. Okay.
But dude, you see this stuff all the time, and it's like, what are we celebrating these anniversaries for? And I mean, like, I get it if you're going to be like, oh wow, it's been 40 years since like original X came out, like whatever, you know what I mean? XYZ, whatever, fill in the blank. And you know, if it's like a round anniversary or something that's like I can remember, or you're telling a story about something, you know, other stuff. It's just like.
I thought of something. This is gonna get me in trouble, and I don't care. It's called.
Oh God.
You know how vagina they say is like face like or shaped like a fish. Okay.
Oh my God.
No, just hear me out. There are guys that I know. I see it on Facebook, and I'm gonna comment on somebody I know, but it's not you, Nick. It's called fishing for vagina. Okay.
Okay.
They throw this out there. Yep. Just read Stephen King's Skeleton Crew. I think I'm going to watch a bit of The Shining tonight.
And you're saying this is how they pick up the women?
They wait. And they wait. And they wait some more. That's me rattling my fingers on the table here.
Okay.
Guess what? They don't come. You know why? Because they don't give a fuck. They don't care. They don't care. They don't care. Because they want to know more than you. And if a girl turns like this and says, raiding Skeleton Crew tonight. Whoppa! Bing! Bing, bing, bing! Bing, 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 bing! Bing, 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 bing! Bing, bing!
I'm still
bing.
confused about the fish thing,
Well,
but okay.
Fishing for vagina.
Yeah, but the vagina fish thing, like...
Now this one here is, it's a worm on hook.
Okay.
The fish stick. I don't know. Dick fish. Okay, they're looking for dick fish. Anyway, what I'm getting at is guys really, 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 really will fucking like and retweet a lot of things that girls post. I see it all the time. And it's like, it could just be the most random shit. It happens with celebrities too. Ricky Gervais, who I'm not a huge fan of, proved this. He writes LOL and gets like 20,000 likes and retweets just from putting LOL. Why is that, Nick? Because people think Ricky Gervais is going to go, oh, he liked and retweeted me. I'm his best friend. That's what they think. A lot of guys, not everybody, not every single guy, but guys, when they like and retweet a girl's thing, and they're like, gonna get laid. Gonna get laid. That's right, tonight is the night. Gonna get laid. Why? Because I liked and retweeted this girl's thing. What did she write? She watched Night Flyer. I love Night Flyer, just like these other 20,000 assholes. But I'm special because I liked and retweeted it first.
Right.
But I'm not saying that every guy is like that, and I'm not saying every girl is, you know, it's just, it happens.
Well, speaking on the hero worship, I actually saw another tweet today that I thought, man, I'm going to tell Jack about this later when he wants to talk about it. I saw one person who tweeted, and I know that they don't listen to this show, I'm sure of it. They tweeted, it's been 2 years since Wes Craven died, and every year I miss him as if he was a member of my family. Seriously. And I'm like, what is wrong with you? Like,
somebody who's never
what?
worked with Wes Craven or met him.
Right.
Yeah.
And like
Dude.
he's not even in the movies you're talking. He made a handful of them.
Hey,
you know what I
he
mean?
was in Scream. No, it's okay.
No. Damn
listen,
it! God. And he was in Freddy's New Nightmare. See, now we're being the horror nerds.
Yeah.
That we said we weren't.
Actually, Nick.
Yeah, actually, no, and it's exactly the problem. But even so, I'm like, I looked at it and I didn't even like tweet it or touch it or anything because I'm just like in awe of the fact that someone would say that they miss a director as much as they miss like dead family members.
Right.
Like, what is like? How little did you value your family versus compared to how much you valued your video collection? Like, you can't take it with you, kids. And like, there is no degree of clout to be gained because Wes Craven is dead, unless they're looking to get in on the rights that just went back to his estate. Like,
that is called fishing for sympathy.
Right.
That's what they call that one. That's not in the shape of anything, but
and I almost understand it more like, okay, like Sid Haig just recently died, right? And like
guy.
people are like, yeah, exactly. People are very sad about it, but it's also because Sid Haig was known for like going to these cons and stuff, even up to a few weeks before he died, and had met a lot of horror fans. And like, even though, you know, I'm sure he didn't remember you, listener, whoever you are. Maybe he did remember you. That would have been something. But you know what I mean? He was a cool guy who was approachable and people could talk to. And it's like, oh, it's sad that he died. He's old, whatever. But, you know.
But he was a very genuine person who actually would sit down. Let's bullshit. Here, let's talk about this or that, whatever.
And yet I would never say, oh, I miss him on the level that I miss my dead relatives.
Of course not. No. It's like, listen, if your coworker dies, I'd be like, man, that fucking sucks. He was cool.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit there and go, man, I'm fucking devastated. Why? Well, Roy didn't come in today and, well, Roy died.
Right.
My life's never going to be the same after this day. Why? Because Roy is dead. God damn it. Fucking Roy. Why did I say Roy? Yeah. It just jumped in my head because of that tweet about Roy.
God.
Roy the ambulance driver. Oh, God.
I mean, I honestly...
That's like saying it's not... Listen, dude, that's like if I put, like, Freddy Krueger in Nightmare on Elm Street 1. That's like somebody going, actually, they didn't call him Freddy. It was just Fred Krueger. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's the kind of shit.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand. I mean, I do to some degree understand it, but like, you know, I don't understand. And you know what? It's another form. It's low key. It's low. You know, it's gatekeeping in a way.
It is,
because it's like a pissing contest that never ends. That you have to be the most knowledgeable person about horror, and you don't have to be. I've said for a long time that there are tiers of horror fans. In our old podcast, we used to joke that like liking horror was like your tolerance for alcohol. Some people are beer drinkers and they drink Budweiser and that's it. You know, that's the big corporate thing. And then there are people who are bigger hipsters, so they like craft beer. And like then there are people who want to drink everything, and like then there are the people who push themselves to find the worst shit ever, and that's like drinking bathtub whiskey. Everybody's a horror fan if you watch horror movies. I really don't care. I am not saying anyone is a better horror fan or a worse horror fan. You like what you like to the degree that you like it, whether you are the person who only watches The Conjuring once a year because it's Halloween time, or the person who is an absolute idiots like us. And it is low-key big gatekeeping and low-key bullying to be like, actually, you're thinking of minor character XYZ, and if somebody's really wrong and you're trying to like correct them in a way that is helping them, go for it. If they're like new to horror and they're like, hey, I really like that Jason guy with the knife hand, he's got knives for fingers, then you can go, I believe you mean Freddy.
Yeah.
That's a constructive way to help someone. If someone doesn't know the minor characters to any movie, fuck yourself just because you know their names.
So, horror groups, movie groups.
Ooh.
So, one thing that I've noticed before, okay. I'm not going to go into that one. All right. So, one thing I've noticed is...
Cool story. Great story.
No. Not going to... Okay, so it's, let's say you have a horror movie Blu-ray club, and then all of a sudden somebody's like, this movie's great. Yes, I agree with you. Me too. Everybody buy this movie. It's the greatest movie ever made. Please, everybody, buy this movie. Oh my God, look what I just got. Picture of said movie. Oh, look what I just got. Picture of said movie. 50th picture of the same movie that everybody has to get from this group. And they all watch the same movie. And they're like, this is the greatest movie I've ever seen. You get it. And then you pop it in and you're like, this is utter shit.
Dude, I got a story. This is just a coincidence, okay?
Yes.
Coincidence. I saw today someone online say that they saw the movie Borgman recently, right?
Yes.
Now, Borgman, if you have been following me online for a while, I hate the movie Borgman. Not Manborg. Manborg was good. Borgman is a horrible European horror movie that came out maybe about 5 or 6 years ago, and it's just...
That was made by Six Astron. They're dyslexic.
No, stop. I don't even remember what the movie was about. It's about some feral guy who like barges into people's home and just lives there. And it's supposed to be symbolic of some bullshit. And it's a very sloppily told, horrible, boring movie. Okay? I don't care what anybody says about it. Because I looked today, like they said that they were going to watch Borgman, and they hashtagged Borgman. And I was like, why would they hashtag it? And I clicked on it. And if you go into the actual tweet of it, like the hashtag, there's a couple of people who saw it recently and their minds were blown, man, But then all the tweets could start coming up from 2014 and 2013 from the people who saw it then, going, this movie, I got to unwrap my mind over Borgman. I can't wait for people to see it, blub, 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 right? Dude, it's been 6 years. Nobody remembers that movie, and I feel vindicated. Nobody's talking about that movie except for this one person in my Twitter feed, and like, it's a terrible movie. Everybody who claimed that they loved it forgot about it, which proves it's stupid. It's not on any top 10 best of. You got to see this movie now movie list. I think it's on Shudder even. If you want to go ruin 2 hours of your life, go watch it. And like, I remember hating it so angrily, and it might even be my spoiler alert. It might even be my bottom one of the decade at the end of this decade. But it is just bad. And like, to see people when a movie comes out falling over themselves for a shitty movie and then forgetting it, and that they forgot it, but you still see these same people going out and saying, oh man, go watch indie movie X, because it's not like a Hollywood movie at all, right? Dude, even the reviews from 2014, one of the reviews that came up on an official real site was like, this Borgman movie is the antidote for summer blockbusters. Like, they always have to throw that in, like, oh, it's not a Hollywood movie. Like, I don't care. I would watch a Hollywood movie if it's good. I would watch an indie movie if it's good. And I feel like people do it a little bit less now because things are, so muddled with how things get distributed, which is a good thing, right? Because we have less of these like hipster shits going, oh, this movie was better because it's not something a Hollywood studio would put out. Now we see a lot of things that Hollywood studios wouldn't put out that aren't as good, and more people, like, the cat's out of the bag now. Because back then, if you wanted to see Borgman, you had to pay money to see it on VOD or order the DVD from overseas. Now, shit comes directly out to Netflix, gets a little bit of acclaim, and then everybody watches it and goes, this movie's terrible. What are they talking? You know, the movie last year, and it wasn't terrible, but it was a perfect example. The movie Apostle, right? That came out last year on Netflix. Not a bad movie. Well, it wasn't really good. It was just like complete middle of the road horror movie. You could watch it once and never even think about it again, right? First came out, it had a little bit of acclaim to it, but as more people saw it, the acclaim diminished. Nobody remembers that movie from last year. Sorry to the 2 people listening who are like, "Oh, that's my favorite movie," but whatever.
It may be theirs, and that's cool,
dude. Nobody remembers it, and you see this year after year, just like you're saying. New thing comes to DVD, and people like flip out over it. But now distribution happens so quickly that it goes into the vacuum much more quickly. Well, because it exposes the truth.
To your point, this also happens on social media. This is part of the subject with Blu-ray announcements. When they announce, like, any of the companies, Vinegar Syndrome, Severin, Shout Factory, Code Red, whatever. Well, whatever they are now. I'm not going to get into that nonsense. But let's say they make an announcement. It's like going to an Apple event where they go, guys, we have a remote control. No way! And, people were like flipping their shit. It's like, the audience in the Oprah Winfrey show. Okay?
Right.
Happens all the time. And then what happens when the movie comes out? Nobody buys it. And then it just sits there and they're like, fuck. We had a limited print release of 1,000 and we couldn't even move 500 copies. That's fucking crazy. And they have like thousands of likes and comments and shit. But those same people don't buy the damn movies. We had the torrent discussion before, so I'm not going into that. But what I'm saying is that why'd you get excited? Because you just like announcements? You want to prove to everybody that you know more about that movie and how excited you are and how it's the movie that you grew up with, blah, 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 bullshit. Happens all the time, Nick. People get very excited about shit that... And I'm not bitching about everybody here. There are genuine titles that I get excited about. But I buy them. That's the difference. There are people
That's
that
another
don't.
thing.
Yeah.
Just like we talked about with like Child's Play. There are a lot of people who are going to get mad about it and stuff and then not see the movies that came out the past couple of years and not go see the movies that came out since then. They're just not going to do it.
Right.
You know?
Well, I mean, either that or they bitch and moan about it and bitch and moan and then they hate watch it. Mm-hmm. And they sit there like, this is going to suck. I can't wait to see how shitty this is.
Dude, that happened with the Joker movie. There was one person.
Oh, I know.
There was a lot of people actually who saw it at advanced screenings. First, and I'm thinking of at least 1 or 2 people that I know of who saw it. Like, first were complaining about it, and then they saw it at an advanced screening. Like, why even go? And then they were like, I saw the movie. It's horrible, and it makes me feel empty inside having watched it. And, of course, when the movie comes out to the general public, they're like, what are these people complaining about, you know? Granted, I haven't seen the movie yet. I can't actually comment on the movie.
I have not.
But that's exactly what I just said is how people should act. They should go... I haven't seen the movie yet, so I don't actually have an opinion on it. No, they already came up with the idea in their head that it was going to be awful for whatever reason, and therefore did not, talk about it in a way that was good after they saw it. They hate watched it, and that was it, you know?
This is where the audience that we have of 10 turns on one of my ex-girlfriends, Nick.
Oh, no.
This is when it happens. So when Heath Ledger was announced to be Joker, everybody on bullshit ain't it cool news, ain't it bullshit news?
Can we have a sidebar? Sidebar.
Yeah.
How is Ain't It Cool News still around? I thought Harry Knowles got Me Too'd out of here. But apparently, like, he's still got a career.
Is still there, yeah. I don't know what the fuck happened, but...
And, dude, I blame him and his whole community for a lot of this negativity.
Yes, you're fucking right.
That all came right from Ain't It Cool
right,
News.
because that's what I was going to talk about as well with this.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. No, but
Continue.
Ain't It Cool News, right when fucking Heath Ledger was announced. Bullshit. He's a shit actor. Fuck that fairy. And fuck that F.A. you know what else? They would say all this mean fucking shit about Heath Ledger. My girlfriend at the time included. The night before Heath Ledger died, we're sitting at dinner in a restaurant. And she's just like, what's the matter? She's like, I'm sorry, I just can't get over the fact that they put Heath Ledger in the Batman movie. I said, listen, stop it. It's nothing to talk about right now while we're trying to enjoy a meal, and it's nothing to get excited about. Listen, I said, Heath Ledger is a fucking tremendous actor. People don't realize this. He's a very good actor. If you'd seen The Patriot, which you didn't, he's really fucking good in it. He's good in A Knight's Tale. He's good in every movie he's in. He gives it 100%. He'll do good. That night, went to sleep. The next day, I woke up. Got all my stuff together, blah, 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 blah. Went on the computer, and I saw on the same shithole fucking site, Ain't It Cool News, Heath Ledger had died. And all the people are like, oh my God, this isn't I can't believe this happened to Heath Ledger. Oh my God, he's such a great actor. Rest in peace, Heath. I can't wait to see your portrayal of Joker. All these people turned just like that because he fucking died. She came into the room. I just looked at her and I said, are you happy now? You killed Heath Ledger. That's what I said to her. And she said, what? I said, he died. He's fucking dead. Are you happy? She's like, no. I said, yeah. I said, now you watch. When that fucking movie comes out, he's going to be the best Joker, and everybody's going to be like, I was totally wrong about the Joker. Guess what? We know how that story turned out, Nick.
Yep. Yes, we do.
So
I feel like that's a good place to end our be careful what you bitch for discussion.
It is. It is. Like somebody said, I hate Jack. I hope he dies. And then a bunch of bees stung me. But I still survived.
You came back stronger.
I came back stronger with steroids, motherfucker. And now I'm like, I'm going to be in the next Candyman movie. No, I'm not. But I mean, Tony Todd, I think, he got like 80 bee stings when he was in Candyman. So that means like Tony Todd and I are pretty close.
Too weird.
No, that's what. Actually, Jack, it was 82 stings.
Me actually.
Oh my God. Yeah, it's there. Yes, that's where we can end it with the death of Heath Ledger in a comic book movie, not horror. However, I think that what the point of all this, was, or whatever, whenever you listen to it, the point is that just stop being dicks. Stop being dicks to each other. You don't have to sit there and suck each other off or anything like that. You can critique whatever the fuck. But, I mean, don't wake up and first thing you gotta do is, who can I piss off today? That's not what you should be doing. I don't think you should be. You can do whatever you want. But if you piss me off, I think, Nick, what I'm going to start doing is hardly tweeting again. Or I will tweet and I will be waiting to destroy you on Twitter.
Yeah, I'm going to go back to complaining about wrestling online and arguing with other people about wrestling.
I mean, you're like
That's what I do.
You're a fucking asshole when it comes to wrestling stuff. And it's I'm like I can't like what Nick's saying because I don't know what the fuck he's talking about.
Dude,
I don't
it's
even
the same
know who that person is.
It's the same exact shit where, okay, a new company comes out for wrestling, right? And people are like, "Oh my god, this new company has everything that like WWE doesn't." And you look at it, and it's like, "Oh wait, it's everything in this company is exactly like WWE. You're just not scrutinizing it because you want your new thing to be cool." And it drives me nuts because like people come out of the woodwork just to appear in your comments when you're like, "Hey, I really enjoyed the said wrestling match." You know, they'll be like, "Yeah, but it wasn't on the other show." What? I've never talked to you in my life. I checked my DMs the other day, and I had message requests from people that were like, "You're a moron. Consider it a badge of honor." And I messaged them back like, "Who are you? I never talked to you in my life." Like, what, you didn't like? You didn't like that I liked a wrestling match that you didn't? Oh, that's a reason to attack me online.
You're such an asshole. I can't believe you.
I know.
No, you are. I can't.
I do roast the shit out of people who are wrong. I love it.
They fucking deserve it.
So I'm really a part of the problem because I don't give up when I should. Like, I should really just take my phone and throw it into a river. I don't do that. I'm stupid.
I just want to see people getting along, but not being fake. One big giant pet peeve of mine: either side, either fake or either way of being fake is fake. I don't like fakeness. And I don't like dickheads. Maybe we're dickheads. Do you think we're dickheads, Nick?
We're pretty terrible at this point.
Nah.
So anyway, thanks. Follow us on Twitter, me at New Jersey Nick, where you could read me talking about wrestling and roasting idiots. And follow Jack. Well, you know, he's not going to be tweeting much anymore because he hates the world, and I mean, rightfully so. So
now I'm just going to start putting up the most fucking random fucking horror facts and watch them get
no. You got to put out the wrong horror fact.
Oh,
and be
maybe
like,
I should do that.
Yeah,
like a troll account.
Yeah, like a bait account.
Like
that's
a
like
totally different account.
Trying to get them in there. Yeah, something you can do. Consider it. Okay.
That's a great idea.
No, it's horrible.
On this day, Jason Voorhees starred in Nightmare on Elm Street.
Right. He was played by Kane Hodder.
He was played by Kane Hader.
Oh my God!
From Saturday Night Live.
Oh God! The bees have got you good. The bees are back.
Oh my God, that was so funny. It was funny to me. I apologize.
You know what though?
Yes.
It really wasn't funny at all. We're experiencing, much like the Joker, madness laughter.
Dude,
like there's nothing that makes sense for us anymore, and we're just laughing about it.
And anybody that's like in their like 20s or 30s, you'll get it when you get to the 40s.
Right. I think it's about when you hit 35, all of a sudden you look around and the world just makes no sense. And I know the moment it happened in my life. The moment it happened in my life was when I was probably 34 or 35 when Snapchat first came out a couple of years ago. I'm 38 now. I just turned 38. Happy birthday to me. So anyway.
Happy birthday.
Thanks. It was a month ago.
I know. I already said that a month ago. So, how many times do I have to tell you happy birthday? Hey, guys, it's the 1 month anniversary of Nick's birthday.
Yeah, 1 month ago today. No,
every month we're going to tell you happy. Every day we're going to tell you happy birthday. Did you know 63 days from today, Nick was born?
Dude, I'm telling you, when Snapchat came out, yes. That was the moment I became an old man because I heard about Snapchat and I was like,
I saw that Snapchat because somebody fucking had a video of you with the fucking shit on your face and you look so mad.
Yeah, probably my wife. And I remember when I came out and I was just like, I don't understand this thing. I don't understand why people are looking at it. I don't understand what's the appeal of it. I don't even really understand how it works at all. And it was just like, this is the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the moment where I was like, I'm old now. Like, this is how my mom feels when I try to describe to her what an email is and how it's not a real letter and it doesn't go to the post office. like this is what happens. So anyway, follow me on my highly technologically advanced podcast. Thanks for listening. Next time, next couple episodes, we're going to try and not rant, maybe.
Yeah, we're not.
I say that rant. Now. Prepare for rants.
Well, people complained that they wanted to hear rants, and now we rant, and so
we delivered.
Yeah, we deliver. You know, we'll deliver some rants, but not all the time because of look, we're not a hate group. Okay, it's just not who we are. However,
at this point, in our old man lives, we don't have the energy.
Oh yeah, you can follow me and act like a fucking ale. I really hope I get a troll. At what is it? What the hell am I now? At Tweet Jack Built. Jacob. That's my other part of the Twitter thing. But at Tweak. I am Tweak now.
Oh my god. Nobody's going to be able to follow your instructions.
Tweet Jack Built. It's like the house that Jack built. The tweet. It's supposed to be the tweet that Jack built, but you know, God forbid. Character limits.
Yeah. All right, man. I think we did it.
What's the hashtag for?
Fuck it. Vagina fish for sure.
Vagina fish.
I thought it when I said it. I was like, that would have been the hashtag.
We gotta bring that back. We gotta bring it. Yes.
Yeah, we probably should. We should probably bring back all the old stuff, except not the old crew. Okay. Yes. Good night. Nobody's listening. I'm the only person who will hear this.